You know what we forgot to do?
What was that?
We forgot to review Ford versus Ferrari after we saw it. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, and who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Rob Robot Shlomo because apparently I'm the one who knows something about this movie before he saw it.
Cars. Hey, to be fair, I've heard of Carol Shelley before. I mean, I'm not. Cars aren't my. I'm not like the big car freak. You know, I like them enough, but no, I don't know every little detail about every little thing. So yeah, car expert.
Well, my dad was a mechanic for like 30 odd years, so I've seen a fair share of them.
Still more qualified to talk about the movie than I am. Here, I can just tell you what I thought of it as somebody who has a passing knowledge of cars, a passing knowledge of, well, no, passing isn't the right word. Total expert in the 60s, though. And that's kind of the thing about this movie. Well, what's a little bit, for people who might not know what the movie's about, you said car expert, tell them what it's about.
In the 1960s, Ford wanted to revamp their image, so they went to Ferrari, and they went to Italy. They went to Maranello, where Ferrari's headquarters is, and they sat down in a meeting with Enzo, old man Enzo Ferrari, and the deal fell apart. And the Ford executives came back, and Henry Ford II said, "I want you to take the best engineers we have and build me a car to humiliate Ferrari at Le Mans." And that's basically how the story got started.
Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that, right? And yeah,
Why wouldn't you? Yes.
and they do a really good job setting up the whole backstory. If you know nothing about cars and you go to this, like, let's say you're a guy who knows cars and you're bringing your girlfriend, this is a good movie for that because not only do they actually give you enough explanation, but they don't make it boring. These are all really interesting characters. They have personalities. You have three actors that I think a lot of women are going to really, really like in this. Matt Damon as Carol Shelby. You have Christian Bale as what's the other guy's name? Ken.
Ken Miles.
Ken Miles, that's
Ken
his name.
Miles.
So Christian Bale's like the British race car driver guy, and a lot of people really like Christian Bale. And then of course you have what's his name? John Bernthal.
John
He's another one.
John Bernthal as Lee Iacocca.
Exactly. I know a lot of women eye candy for him too. So you have three really good actors in this, and even like the rest of the, like the Henry Ford, he's a good character. You have stuff to look at if you're just a chick walking into this, if you're not even like into the guy movies. Like, this is a good example of that. You get good humor, good characters. We do not get storytelling like this in just anything. This isn't a bunch of flashy CGI and a bunch of boring crap for teenagers. No, this is characters for people who like movies.
This is one of those rare movies that you can sit down. It is all story. It is pretty much all story.
Oh, there's suspense though. There's action.
Oh,
There's the racing. I mean, racing
yeah.
is part of this, and it's tense, and it's like, oh my god, are they going to be okay? There is moments of that, so this isn't just a bunch of talking and stuffy dialogue. No, yeah, you got Matt Damon being basically Matt Damon. He's kind of awesome in this. This is kind of an Oscar bait movie. This is much better than I thought it was going to be as well. So,
yes, and yeah, out of all the movies, actually, I wouldn't call this a sleeper, but this is probably one of the best movies you're going to see all year.
yeah, I
And
enjoyed it.
Even if you just go see superhero movies or whatever it is, this is actually well worth your time and effort and money to go see. And one thing that's interesting is that they portray Ken Miles as a family man, as a good father, a good husband, a guy who's just trying to provide for his family. There's a couple moments in it where he's actually having these good father-son moments.
Oh yeah, how many
You
times do you
really
see that?
that this guy. Oh yeah, and you really see he was a committed family man above all else.
Now, we did a video on this where their biggest complaint was, oh, there's not enough women characters. His wife in this is a no-nonsense, tough-as-nails chick in this, too. And, their only complaint is she didn't have enough screen time. Well, guess what? The movie wasn't about her. But you still have some pretty strong female characters in this for the SJW crowd to complain about. Yeah, but and like what you said, we can elaborate on that a little with the good dad. How many times has Hollywood gone out of its way this past few years to say anytime you have a straight white dude or a dad, just to completely destroy their character? Han Solo, to just pretty much every single character that we see, they have this mission to go in and say, oh, you're just an old straight white dude. You're less than.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie doesn't do any of that.
The worst thing you can say about Ken Miles is that he's in a very high risk occupation.
Well, he's a daredevil.
Like I say, he's doing it to provide. Well, but he's doing it to provide for his family. He's getting paid more being a racing driver than he ever did running a garage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, and that's the best way to provide for his family.
Exactly, and this still likes to. This likes to remind us of a time when, people actually did more innovative things. We don't even have that sort of level of competition anymore. We don't have a space race. And that's what this really reminded me of. Like, I'm a huge NASA nerd from, 60s era. Of course, the Apollo missions, Gemini, everything, that era. Love that era. And that's what this reminded me of. It reminded me of watching From Earth to the Moon. And I highly recommend that one, too, with the miniseries from HBO. But this one kind of reminded me of that with the storytelling. You've got little bits of humor. It's not a comedy, but you've got the bits of humor. You would in real life. It doesn't take itself so seriously. This is like message, like all these modern movies.
Yeah. I mean, there's no preachiness to this. I mean, it is very much like the space race, and the guys, the drivers are very much almost like fighter jocks too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's who they hired for NASA.
And they are pushing the envelope of what automotive technology could do during the day. They take some liberties with them. They take some creative license with some of the events, but it's actually fairly accurate from what I've read of the actual story.
Yeah, and if you're just a casual moviegoer or somebody who's taking your family to the movies for the holidays, this is a good one. There's not a lot of profanity, swearing, nothing really inappropriate. There's not going to be anything where you're going to have an argument about it after the fact. There's none of this, Trump crap. There's none of that, like Knives Out. You're not going to have an argument with your family over it. This is a pretty safe, decent, and this is what we're talking about with storytelling. You can still tell a story and give us characters where you don't have to insult and inject all these little social justice politics and crap into it. So I guess my final rating. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the film never speaks down. That's okay. The film never speaks down to its audience. It's intelligently written. It's smartly written. It is well worth your time and effort and money to go see. Mm-hmm. What's your final rating?
My final rating is probably 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. And I never give anything. Keep in mind, I gave Endgame a 6. And that's lower. That's going down. I don't like anything.
No, you don't like anything. Yeah. I have my own scale. I'm going to give it 4 Chewbaccas. Solid 4 Chewbaccas.
Out of how many?
Out of 6. There's 5 Chewbaccas. There are 5 Chewbaccas on the Chewbacca scale. But there is a sixth Chewbacca for movies that are so awesome, 5 cannot contain them.
Okay, that's fair.
So I give a solid 4 Chewbaccas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Star Wars, 6 Chewbaccas. The original Avengers, 6 Chewbaccas. Return of the Jedi, 5 Chewbaccas.
Last Jedi?
1 Jar Jar. It's a Jar Jar.
It's a Jar Jar. You sure it's not a Rian Johnson? It's a Rian Johnson stinker anyway. Yeah, and if you are having a choice between this and Knives Out, maybe lean your family a little over here, because Knives Out's going to have a lot of that arguing about politics. Check out my Knives Out review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!